Hello and welcome back to the Bad Back Gardener. Today for our video we're going to be planting some cilantro in some pots. It's a little too cold to plant it in the garden yet. It will not germinate well in cool soil, but I am going to plant it in pots where I can regulate the temperature by taking it inside if I need to. And if it gets too cold, I can move it from inside to outside or whatever I need to do. On a nice day, it can go sit out in the sun until it germinates and gets going, and then it can stay outside unless it's going to get too bad or get frost or something like that. So I'll be planting two pots. I got a couple different kinds of cilantro here, so we'll plant one and one, and then I think I'm going to combine one and another. I got three, so we'll combine two of them, and the other one we'll plant just by itself. So first pot I'm going to plant, this has actually got some leftover soil in it from last year, so I'm going to take it right now and I'm going to get rid of it. So we can start out with an empty pot. Okay, pot is now empty. Actually on the bottom here, what I have some styrofoam, peanuts, and then I have some weed fabric. I'll put some styrofoam peanuts on the bottom and then weed fabric over that to separate the soil from the styrofoam peanuts. That helps to keep it light. It also drains it good from the soil, and so we'll fill it up from there. On the bottom of my pot here, I'm going to put some of my cheaper potting soil. It's potting soil, but it's not as nice as the stuff I like to use in the pots itself. This is the nicer stuff, but I'll put some cheaper stuff on the bottom part way up. I'm also going to be adding, this is mushroom compost, and I'll be adding some of that to the pot as well, kind of mixing it in and get a combination of the cheaper potting soil, the little bit more expensive potting soil, and some mushroom compost. I'll also be adding some more fertilizer and some water crystals, the TerraSorb water crystals as well. So we'll get started by putting some of the cheaper potting soil on this. This is the same stuff that I've been adding to the raised beds when I prepare them. It's a little bit more like dirt than it is potting soil. It works great for mixing it in with the beds, but when it comes to the pots itself, I don't want to use completely this kind. I like to use the better kind. So get this filled up somewhat. Okay, into that, mix some compost in. Mix that up here. You don't need real, for the cilantro, the roots don't get super deep. It's not like flowers that'll be here the whole summer. The cilantro, it'll keep growing as long as I keep it picked, but I'll probably eventually, about halfway through the summer, plant some more, another pot or two of it, as well as in the garden itself. I'll plant some, but I like to have some late fall too. I'll plant it more late summer so it's grown into the fall and I can bring it inside again if it gets too cold and use it that way. And also another reason I like to do this is I can have it sitting closer to the house. So if I want to get some the herbs, I can go out right outside the door. I don't have to come clean down to the garden to get it, but it's just more convenient up there too. So we got that mixed in. And mix in some of the TerraSorb water crystals. That'll keep it from drying out too much. And then I'll also throw in a little bit of Osmocote fertilizer. Mix that in. And the potting soil I'm using also has fertilizer in with it, so I don't need to put too much fertilizer on top, but that'll be kind of give it a deeper fertilizing there. So now we'll get some of the better potting soil. As you can see, it's a little bit more light and fluffy than this stuff. This is the cheaper stuff, and then this is the more expensive potting soil. I might mix, one thing I will mix in with this potting soil though is some of the water crystals, because it does not contain any watering crystals or anything. You can get potting soil with it already mixed in, but this kind does not have it right now. So excuse me, I'm losing my voice again. But we'll put some of this in now. I find by using this, I don't have to pay attention to watering every day. I can go by a few days before I have to worry about watering. Mix that in. Okay. Now in this here, we're going to actually mix a couple different kinds of cilantro. This cilantro here is called Calypso, and it's supposed to be a long-lasting. It stays in leaf form longer before it goes to seed. For the coriander seeds, it stays as cilantro, the leaf form, a lot longer, so it allows for a longer harvesting time. I'm just going to put a few of these in. I'm not going to load this down here. And then the other kind I'm going to plant, it's called Confetti. And it's not big leaf cilantro, it's real thin, like fern, almost like fern-like leaves to cilantro. It's a little more milder, but I like it as well. I kind of like a combination of both of them. So I'll put some of these seeds in there. Because I'm mixing them both together, I don't need a ton of seeds in there. Just gonna spread them around a little bit here. A few more here. We use a lot of cilantro around the house, so that's why I like to get it planted and get it going. Saves me having to go to the store and buy it. So, all right, so that's down now. I don't really like to cover it with too much, so I'm probably gonna just give it a very light covering and kind of mix what's in there with the existing soil already. So we'll give it a real light cover. Give it some water. And we'll take that one back up to the house. And this one here is a little bit bigger pot. I'm probably not going to fill it as deep. Probably only cover this first little groove there. This one here I'm going to plant. It's kind of a generic cilantro. It's a cheaper seed packet. I'll probably plant the whole packet in here. This is actually was left from last year, so not sure how well it's going to germinate, but we'll give it a try in this one. I'll probably plant the whole pack, like I said, in this one and see how it goes. But this is just regular, they're cilantro herb. They're not calling out a specific kind. So we'll start out with some of the cheaper potting soil. This here again, this is got peanuts on the bottom with a layer of weed fabric over top. to separate it. I'll take a little bit more because it's a bigger pot. Take some of the mushroom compost. Mix that together here. A little bit of fertilizer in there, some water crystals, and we'll mix that up. That's the cheaper stuff. I'm actually going to mix a little bit more of the mushroom compost in with the upper layer here on this one. Let's see how that goes. And then we'll mix in some water crystals. And I'm not real shy about how much I put in this because, like I said, I'd rather not have to water it every day or every other day during the summer if I don't have to. Just in case I forget to do it or keep an eye on it. I don't want it drying out best I can. Alright. That gets that. Here's our pack of the cheaper cilantro seeds. Okay. And again, I'm going to just put a light layer over top of it. And water this in. Alright, that'll do it for planting the cilantro in these pots here. Just remember, keep on watching, subscribe, and look for more videos here. Catch up with me on Facebook or Twitter. And if your back ain't hurting, you ain't working.